What if some of your gut's most important bacteria have been hiding in plain sight? Well, new breakthrough research on this hidden bacteria might explain the mystery of IBS. Throughout this video, I'll show you how to apply this landmark discovery to your real life. This will start helping your IBS today by getting your microbiome thriving. I'm going to show you 4 huge findings from this groundbreaking study. Number 1, what uncultured gut bacteria are and why they are super important. Number 2, why one particular group of bacteria, called CAG170, has researchers really excited. Number 3, CAG170 seem to be a hub in healthy gut ecosystems. We're going to talk about that. And number 4, CAG170 appears to make vitamin B12 in the gut. And hi, I'm Heather Van Vorous, IBS specialist and author of the best-selling books Eating for IBS and The First Year IBS. I've been helping people with IBS for over 30 years, and I'm here to help you too. So if you have IBS, you already know how unfair that can feel. You can eat the exact same thing as someone else, and they're just fine. Maybe even sometimes you're fine too. But a lot of the times, you're definitely not. Personally, I have more than one vivid memory of my entire family eating or drinking something, from an Easter brunch ham to pina coladas on a Hawaiian vacation, that they enjoyed while having a great time hunting Easter eggs or watching the tropical sunset over the ocean. They enjoyed those things. I had to hear about them later because I spent my holiday and vacation in the bathroom. The explanation for these IBS horror stories, mine and yours, might actually lie in microbiome research. That research may one day give us the answer as to why this is happening to us. But it has already given us one huge finding. The gut is an entire ecosystem. Think of your gut like a rainforest. You need the whole complex interweb of life. The soil, the roots, the canopy, the vines, the insects, the birds, the fungus beneath the surface, all in balance, with a lot of quiet teamwork happening behind the scenes. Well, this new microbiome research is finding that we have been blind to a huge part of that rainforest. The study I'm talking about was just published in Cell Host Microbe. It's called Meta-Analysis of the Uncultured Gut Microbiome Across 11,115 Global Metagenomes Reveals a Candidate Signature of Health. Take a breath. So, in plain English, let's translate this. It just means the researchers looked at over 11,000 human microbiome samples from 39 countries. This is an enormous study. It gives us a global look at gut bacteria across healthy people and people with 13 different long-term diseases. The scientists were especially interested in uncultured bacteria. This is the first big finding. What are uncultured gut bacteria, and why are they super important? Well, uncultured bacteria does not mean rude bacteria who don't say thank you. It just means bacteria that scientists know are there because they can see their genetic material in the gut samples, but they can't yet grow or culture them in a lab dish, so they remain hidden. This is a big deal because the study found that more than 60% of gut species are still uncultured. So for years, we've been studying the gut microbiome with one eye closed. But this new study has started to illuminate some of these hidden bacteria. And they're finding that healthy people seem to have a richer mix of these hidden, uncultured microbes. In fact, the researchers found that about 30% of the different bacterial species in each gut sample were uncultured. But these bacteria made up only 12% of the total bacteria measured. In other words, they were not the largest group by volume, but they added a lot of variety. And in the gut microbiome, variety can really matter. Just like there might be many different rare plants in a rainforest, but each one may only cover a small patch of ground, well, a rainforest really thrives when it has that wide diversity of life. The second big finding, this is about one very special group of bacteria called CAG170 that has researchers very excited. I know it's an awkward name, But CAG170 was one of the strongest health-associated bacteria groups in the study. It showed up more often in healthy people in all different parts of the world. In fact, researchers found that 11 out of 13 CAG170 species were linked to health. This is in the context of Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, obesity, and irritable bowel syndrome. They also found CAG170 levels were generally stable over time, and higher levels of CAG170 were linked to lower dysbiosis. Dysbiosis just means gut imbalance, so lower dysbiosis, that's a good thing. And by the way, if anything in this video is confusing, please post your question in the comments. I'll try to answer everyone. Now, does this mean CAG170 will cure IBS? It does not mean that. And it does not mean that you can buy a CAG170 probiotic capsule and call it a day. In fact, that's actually one of the most important points. CAG170 is mostly uncultured or hidden. This study notes that only one isolated genome from it has been sequenced so far, while more than 1,000 genomes for this group have not. In simple terms, we know CAG170 is there, but scientists are still learning how to grow it, study it, and understand it. Think of this like seeing footprints in the mud. You know some creature was there, you can study their tracks, but you have not yet fully identified the animal. This is what's happening with hidden gut microbes. Scientists know they exist because their genetic fingerprints show up in gut samples. But they're also still trying to understand what they do and how they work. This is still early science. The third big finding here, CAG170 seems to be a hub in healthy gut ecosystems. The researchers looked at how bacteria connect with each other, kind of like mapping out a network. And CAG was the most interconnected bacteria in healthy gut microbiomes worldwide. In fact, out of 31 top hub species, 27 were uncultured, and CAG170 was the most represented group of them all. That really matters because a hub species may help hold together the entire ecosystem. Think of the rainforest again. It's a web of life and balance. Some trees help shade the forest floor. Some plants hold moisture. Some fungi recycle old growth back into nutrients. And some tiny insects do jobs you can't even see, but the whole forest depends on it. One small hidden player may be quietly helping the entire ecosystem to thrive. In your gut, CAG170 may be one of those most important hidden players. And the last huge finding, number 4, is that CAG170 appears to make vitamin B in the gut. That matters because vitamin B12 is not just important for people. Gut bacteria can use it too. It helps certain bacteria do jobs involved in energy, amino acids, and short-chain fatty acid production like butyrates. Remember this about short-chain fatty acids. They're important, and we're going to circle back here. The study found signs that CAG170 may be involved in cross-feeding, which just means one type of gut bacteria makes something that other gut bacteria can use. So CAG170 may be producing vitamin B12 not to help itself, but to feed or support other helpful bacteria around it. CAG170 may help keep your whole gut ecosystem working better. In rainforest terms, it's one part of the ecology feeding another. A fallen leaf feeds the soil feeds the roots support the trees, the canopy protects the life below. The whole system works because everything is connected. This is critical because a healthy gut microbiome is not just a bunch of bacteria. It is literally your living rainforest. Your gut bacteria feed each other, compete with each other, and communicate with each other. Now, here's what people may misunderstand. The study is not saying take vitamin B12 and you will grow CAG170. It's also not saying find a probiotic with CAG170 and it will cure your IBS. It is not saying everyone with IBS has low CAG170. The study was not an IBS treatment trial. It was a huge microbiome study across many health and disease states. It gives us clues, not a finished map. But for IBS, these clues are really useful. They reinforce what I've been saying about IBS for years. Your gut needs stability, safety, and daily support. You cannot beat IBS into submission. You have to be kind to your gut so it can be kind to you. A damaged rainforest won't recover if you bulldoze it or set it on fire. It recovers when the conditions are made right for a healthy balance of life to flourish. So now what can you do with this research today to help your IBS in real daily life? Well, number one, stop thinking of gut health as just find that magic probiotic pill and you'll be done. Your entire gut microbiome needs support on a daily basis. For IBS, that starts with the basics that can sound boring, but they work. And that leads us right to number two. Build your meals around IBS-safe soluble fiber foods that are slowly fermenting prebiotics. Soluble fiber just means that the fiber dissolves in water. In the bowel, soluble fiber regulates motility and the water content of stool. That means it stabilizes peristalsis, the actual muscle contractions of your gut, and it relieves both diarrhea and constipation. Prebiotic soluble fiber foods that ferment slowly in the bowel create an environment of short-chain fatty acids, remember those? Like the butyrates. This is the environment in which healthy gut bacteria thrive. In other words, prebiotics are food for all probiotics, and those good guys then help keep the bad guys in check. To learn more about prebiotics plus the list of common soluble fiber foods that are slowly fermenting, see the pinned comment and description below, or go to helpforibs.com to get a printable diet cheat sheet that will show these as your green light safe foods. Think instant oatmeal, rice, pasta, potatoes, sweet potatoes, cooked carrots, cooked squash, bananas, applesauce, papaya, pumpkin, and there's more. This is also the foundation of the diet in my book, Eating for IBS, that will let you gently and naturally keep your gut calm while you also get your microbiome flourishing. Number three, avoid your personal IBS diet triggers. And for most people with IBS, the big troublemakers include high-fat foods like red meat and dairy, greasy or fried foods, alcohol, coffee and caffeine, carbonated drinks, artificial sweeteners, too much insoluble fiber, think bran or kernel corn here, and meals that are just too big or too rich. If you have IBS, you have a hyperreactive gut by definition. Don't throw fuel on that fire. That can just burn your rainforest to the ground. Number four, be really careful after antibiotics, infections, or bad IBS flares. These are the times when your entire gut ecosystem can be thrown out of whack. If you've just been through the GI version of a cage fight, don't add insult to injury with trigger foods or a huge stress load. Take it easy, be gentle, go steady, stick to your safe soluble fiber foods. Keep meals frequent, small, and simple. Get extra sleep, fresh air, and moderate exercise. Let your gut recover and your microbiome rebuild. Give it the time, the protections, and the steady care it needs, just like you'd help regrow a rainforest. That is how science usually works. Slowly, carefully, not necessarily exciting or flashy. So you have an advantage here. When you can understand the science behind IBS without falling for hype, you can make better choices for your IBS. You can focus on practical steps to take today while keeping an eye on what might come tomorrow. The big takeaway: some of your gut's most important health clues are still hiding in bacteria we can't even clearly see, let alone understand. And CAG 170 is looking like one key part of that healthy gut signature. But if you have IBS, your job right now is not to chase this mystery bacteria. Your job is to support your entire gut rainforest, gently, consistently, daily. And you can start doing this today. For real IBS help you really can use today, visit helpforibs.com. And watch my next video with jaw-dropping inflammatory and immune findings that are changing the definition of IBS from a dysfunction to a real disease. It's right here. And as always, please know you are not alone.